Hi, everybody. Today's topic is something that is very interesting for me, and I've been asked about it a few times. So that's why I'm bringing it to you. So, today morning, for example, my husband said something that triggered me early in the morning. Now, if it was the old version of me, I would have gone, made the mole into a mountain, molehill into a mountain, made a big deal, would have gotten frustrated, angry, etc. But over a period of time, as I continue my personal development journey, I'm able to catch myself before I spiral out of control. Before I become, angry or upset, etc. Now, what helps me is a particular framework, and I believe it will be of value to you. That is why I'm bringing it to you, especially because a lot of my clients ask me for support on how to, stop negative emotions and thoughts from consuming them. Now, I have not reached Zen level or black belt level of mastery in it, but it has helped me a lot so far, and I'm continuing this practice. And I'm sure if you apply it, you will find a lot of benefit as well. So, to understand how to manage negative emotions or thoughts that are not empowering for ourselves, we need to understand the origin of these thoughts and emotions. So, let me share my screen and show you an image. So, as you can see, something, a negative comment or a positive comment or an action from somebody, for example, probably it's your team member who has not finished a project on time despite you reminding them, or it's a family member who says something that irritates you. So that triggers a thought. The thought could be negative or positive. Negative as in, hey, I already told this guy to finish the project. Why has he not done it? Or it could be positive. Hey, my husband's brought me roses. How lovely. Things like that. So that's a thought. The thought then quickly moves on to becoming or triggering emotions. So the event triggers the thought then triggers an emotion, which is positive or negative. For example, frustration, anger at your team member for not finishing the project, unbelievable irritation, like seriously, how could they screw this up? Or joy and being loved by your husband for bringing you the rose, or your wife for bringing you a rose. So thought goes into emotion, and that emotion informs our action. For example, that frustration at the project, the team member could go into, could have you yelling at them, shouting at them, or even getting impatient, even if you don't show it in your voice or in your actions in terms of hand and body movement. Your face or the tone of voice might betray the real emotion, the frustration, irritation, anger that you're feeling, or the love you're feeling towards your partner for giving you a rose. So, trigger, thought, emotion, action. Now, that action then becomes a reality. The person that gets upset or your partner feels loved as well in return. So, it reinforces a reality. And now that reality actually confirms your thought. Then you say, see, this project member is actually not good. See how he's not delivered it, and he's squirming and not giving me a proper answer when I ask him about the project. He's not delivering. See what I thought about him, that he is incompetent already. That was my thought already in the beginning, is being confirmed. The situation is confirming, the reality is confirming your original thought. Or the other way around, the partner giving you a rose, your original feeling of love is being confirmed by the love that you're showing to them. The reality sort of goes the whole loop back and reconfirms your thought. That leads to more emotions, actions, reality. So, in essence, when there is a trigger in the environment, you can choose your thought wisely. That's what all the mindfulness practitioners, our gurus, etc., have always told us. We have an absolute choice in terms of the thoughts we can choose, whether it's positive or negative. So, for example, if you're feeling angry and frustrated at a project member, and that anger is welling up inside you, you could take a break, take a take a few calm breaths, and just calm yourself down. And from there, you can think, how can I behave differently in this situation, right? How can I bring my best self to this situation? That might trigger emotions like curiosity, openness, support for the team member, for instance, and that would inform your action. For instance, um, you might ask them a question that is open-ended, like, hey, how can I help you? What did you learn from this? What were the challenges that you could not deliver on time? That would make them feel empowered. So then the reality that manifests is that person comes up and says, hey, I'm sorry, this, somebody in my family is not feeling well. We've been through a tough time. I'm really sorry. I should have let you know earlier. I promise this will not happen again. That then reinforces the thought and emotions of positivity and supportive, being supportive, etc. So does that make sense? So I'm giving you the framework of how a trigger can affect your thought, that leads to emotion, that leads to action, that leads to reality, and the whole circle, the feedback loop continues. So you have the choice over the kind of thought you choose. And the way to choose an empowering thought is actually to take a break once that trigger hits you. And it takes practice, and over a period of time it gets better and better. You'll be faster and faster at it. So when a trigger hits and you feel you feel suddenly surprised by the trigger, you can take a few deep breaths and then choose your thought wisely. Another framework that I can give you in this context is 4 powerful questions that you can ask yourself. This is the work of Byron Katie, and I'm going to share my screen, and I'll share with you the links after I record this video. I'll put them in the comments. So the 4 questions to ask yourself are: 1, is it true? Is my thought true that my team member is incompetent, or I'm incompetent, or somebody else is incompetent, or not, stupid, whatever else it is, those negative consequences? Is actually true? Does this person actually have a negative intention, a non-helpful intention? If you feel that your peers are always stacked up against you, they don't trust you, they don't like you, is it actually true? So we often have all these thoughts. Observe your thoughts. Is that actually true? And then ask yourself a second question: are you absolutely sure that it's true? Right? Ask yourself again to be absolutely sure you take ownership of the situation and not act like a victim. Right? Whether it's yes or no, you can go into the next question: how do you react when that happens? When you believe that thought, what is the persona in you that emerges? Is it an angry persona? Is it an empowered persona? Is it a curious persona? Or even if you need to be assertive, is that something that can be brought out instead of aggressive? Can a more assertive and open persona come out instead of an aggressive persona? So how do you react? And that gives you the choice, right? And 4th is, if you do still harbor that disempowering thought of anger or frustration, what if the opposite were true? What would you be without that thought? If you were to put that frustrating thought aside and choose a more empowering thought, who would you be without that thought? And I am assuming what would emerge is a better version of you, a more empowered version of you, a more present version of you, a more composed, calm, wise, intelligent, clear thinking, creative version of you. So let me know how you liked these 2 frameworks. I'm curious to hear from you. I do this work with my clients all the time. And if you struggle with negative emotions in any context, personal or professional, and you want to bring your best self forward, a more composed and assertive self forward, if you see right in the world, to appreciate it, or if you see wrong in the world, to take the right stance and be assertive about pointing out the thing that is not right, but still create consensus and move forward, let me know. I'm here to help you. Just drop me a DM. So that's it from me today. All the best and see you soon.